Hello everyone, my name is Jacqueline Sylvan, and ladies, you really need to start hitting people. So, fan conferences, or cons, have quite the reputation for horrible male behavior toward women. VidCon, which happened this past week, actually is one of the good ones. Unfortunately, somebody always has to ruin the party, and this one douche, who I can't remember his name and honestly wouldn't say it and give him the publicity if I could remember it, decided to do a prank video, the punchline of which was to run up behind unsuspecting women entering VidCon, grab them from behind, and run away with them. I mean, who doesn't think that believing for a moment that you're being abducted or about to be sexually assaulted is hilarious, right? Yeah, no. And obviously, most of the internet, fortunately, didn't think it was funny either. The video has been taken down before I got a chance to see it, but I've gotten a pretty good play-by-play from others, so that's really what I'll be referring to when I refer to that video. Again, this is only hearsay on my part, but all of the women in the video, they struggled. Some of them laughed, albeit like a very nervous laugh, and some of them actually cursed and told him to get off. And he didn't listen to any of them. But from what I hear, not a single one of them actually fought back. And of course, that got me thinking, what would have happened if this pure douche had, instead of running up behind unsuspecting females, had run up behind unsuspecting males, grabbed them around the waist from behind, and gone to carry them off? The answer, if you haven't gotten it already, is that they probably would have punched his lights out. And I think therein kind of lies the solution to all of these stupid pranks that guys think that they can pull on girls and, it's just a joke, If we start punching them, or hitting them, or, whatever, then maybe, eventually, they'll stop. Now, before you go off on me about advocating violence, I want to bring up a very astute point that author C.J. Redwine stated in a blog response to this video. What that guy did, however it may have been intended as a joke, it's called battery, okay? It is him grabbing a girl who he does not have permission to grab, and despite their protests to let go of them, he doesn't. It's battery, okay? It's illegal. And it doesn't matter how it's intended. If it happens to you, you have every right to defend yourself. And this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, is why I'm filming this in my living room instead of the usual smaller area with the prettier background, because I'm going to need a little room for this. I figured that maybe I would show you a few tricks on how to defend yourself. I do want to put in here that this disclaimer that although I've taken several years of karate, I am just a few steps away from black belt, etc., etc. I'm not actually a self-defense instructor of any kind. So the advice that I'm going to give you is just that. It's advice. Don't sue me, please. Okay, so any stuttering and ahhing and going off of the point, or dogs scratching themselves and jingling their chains from here on out, please excuse that, because I can't get to my camera, really, and so this is kind of going to have to be a one-take wonder. I saw this thing the other day. It was a remote for your phone, and I'm like, who has to be that lazy to need a remote for their phone? And then, of course, today I'm like, wow, I could really use a remote for my phone. So, anyway, back on point. These are your weapons. Now, believe it or not, your fist, actually not your best weapon. Unless you've been taught to punch properly, you're more likely to hurt yourself with this than you are anyone else. If the best weapons that you have are your elbows and your knees, they're pretty much made, oh my god, seriously, they're pretty much made of solid bone, There's not a lot of meat on them. This is made of all little tiny breakable bones. If you need it, say, for reach, because obviously your elbow doesn't reach as far, I would recommend strongly that you use the heel of your hand. Again, it's more of a solid bone thing. If you go and you hit somebody right in the nose here, you might not break their nose, but actually you probably will break their nose with that. But their eyes are going to well up with tears, and which is going to make it hard for them to see you as you run away. So anything, you know, this is where you want to hit. You don't want to try to hit somebody in the jaw. It's not really going to do anything. Aim for the nose. So strike with the heel of the hand to the nose, also with the point of the elbow to the nose. Anything from like here to here, you want to try to use your elbow for that. Nice soft flesh, nice bony, pointy elbow. You can hit a glancing blow. You can hit from behind. You can even come around like that. That's one of my favorite ones. Down here, too, if you have ever gotten somebody's elbow right there, you're not going to forget it in a hurry. Also, knees. Again, straight into the stomach. That's a good one. Also, though, to the side of the leg. There's a nice big nerve that runs right down the side of your leg that if you hit it, they will drop like a stone. I accidentally did that to my husband the one time, and poof, right down on the floor. So, now, let's say that somebody has you from behind, like that douche at VidCon did. They have you from behind. First thing you want to do is either to stomp on their foot, or kick them in the rear end, or kick yourself in the rear end, because, let me see if I can move up a little. As you can see, when my heel comes up like that, it's not actually hitting me, but it's probably hitting whoever is behind me in the groin, or so close to the groin that they're going to flinch and maybe release their hold on you. Now, if they have you over your arms, then the best thing to do is just to lift both of your legs up and shoot your arms straight up. So you go down and you'll just push their arms right over your head. So you're going to want to jam them up any way possible before you start to struggle. You want to kick them in the foot. You want to kick them there. You want to try to release their grasp. If that doesn't work, one of the best things, weirdest things that you can do is to throw yourself back into them. Because the thing is, they've just grabbed you. They're expecting you to struggle. So they're braced for you to move forward. If you throw yourself back, you're going to throw them right off balance, and probably, if they don't fall down with you on top of them, at which point, you know, go to town with those elbows, you should be able to break their grip and run away. So, again, stomp, get them in the stomach, do whatever you can to cause pain and make them flinch. Now, as soon as you have gotten away from their grip, or even before that, you want to yell for help. It doesn't matter if you think it might be a joke. It would be better to be wrong than to be dead. And another important thing, and my karate teacher told me this, and it makes... Would you stop with that? Sorry, my dogs are, like, suddenly very itchy. Don't yell help. How many times have you been out on the street and you hear neighborhood kids playing and they're screaming, help, help? Nobody pays attention to that anymore because of that. And by the way, if you're a parent, please, please, please tell your children to stop screaming help, because no one's going to pay attention to them when they really need help. So anyway, instead of screaming for help, yell fire. Fire, 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 over and over again, because nobody really jokes about that, number one. Number two, as my sensei said, everybody's going to come running because everybody likes to see the fire trucks. So, actually, I think that's pretty much it for my little self-defense-y thing. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it isn't the last thing. The most important thing, and I'm going to get back down here so I can talk to you up close. The most important thing with this is that you practice. And I'm not talking about practicing on your friends, because it's not going to go well. Somebody's going to get hurt. I'm talking about mentally going over constantly your plan B. When you're standing in line at the ATM, you should be thinking, if the guy behind me grabs me, how would I get out of it? If you're in a parking garage at night, you need to be thinking, if somebody attacked me in here, where would be my escape route? Because people really underestimate how difficult it is to think under that kind of pressure. And a lot of times when you are, when you're panicked and you're going to end up running yourself into a blind corner or hurting yourself instead. If you're constantly going over that, if you're constantly planning for that contingency, that if it does happen, you'll be ready. And going back to the whole joke perspective, because that's really how this video started out, I don't care, and neither should you, if it was intended as a joke. It's not friggin' funny, okay? And the more people maybe get punched in the face for doing it, the more maybe they'll think twice before they do it again. Once again, you are, even if it is intended as a joke, if someone touches you or grabs you without your permission, it is considered battery. It is illegal. You have been assaulted, and you are well within your rights to defend yourself. The freaking end. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, and if you have any good self-defense tips or just tips in general to keep jokester douchebags like that guy from coming up behind you and grabbing you, please leave it in the comments. Getting back to book stuff, don't forget, August 20th, that's really coming up close. I'm really starting to panic. But also, go back to the cover release blog if you haven't already. That has all the links there. The contest to get or the drawing to win a free ebook of Blind Study is still going on and will be going on up until the day of the release. So you still have a chance to put your name in there and win a free e-copy of Blind Study. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!